with some satin green ribbon from Gwen Studios, and I'm going to fold it like so to get a point here for a leaf, and then I'm going to fold this into itself again like so. So now you can see that we've got this leaf shape, and if I turn it over you can definitely see it. Now if I pinch this all together here at the bottom, and I've got a little extra ribbon hanging off here, so I'm just going to cut through that. Alright, and then with the needle and thread I'm just going to sew this all together. You could use hot glue instead, but I'm just going to gather and stitch until it's holding tight, and then we will attach it to our pumpkin when the time comes. So I'm going to make a few more of these, and just to show you how they will sit on our pumpkin, like so. Using orange satin ribbon from Gwen Studios, we're going to make a flower, and there is no real set pattern for this. I already have green thread in my needle, so I'm just going to use this, and at the end here I'm just going to do a real quick running stitch to get to the bottom, and then I am just going to gather that up like so, and then we're going to just manipulate this ribbon until it looks like a petal, and then I'm going to take a couple of stitches through that. And I'm just going to do this continuously until we have a flower shape. Alright, so now I'm ready for the next piece here. Got my needle ready, and I am just going to bunch this up and make the next petal. And stitch through that. I'm probably going to go through this like make 5 petals. We'll see how that looks. Off the flower, I dug through my button stash, and I have this great old 70s mod button from my mom, and I am going to use that as the center. So I'm just using a little bit of fabric tack here, and we're going to stick that right into the center to hide all that stitching, and push down hard on it, and just set that aside to dry. So now we have our ribbon flower, we have our ribbon leaves, and now we have our pumpkin. And we could just finish this off by gluing these pieces on here and be done with it. But I think what I'm going to do here is I am going to go ahead and Mod Podge these beautiful napkins onto my pumpkin. I have cut my round box out of cut cardstock in a yellow color, and I want it to look more like a pumpkin. So I've got my Spiced Marmalade Distressed Oxide and a blending brush, And I am just going to kind of distress the outside of circles and sides of the box with orange. So I've got one circle that is small, and so I'm going to use that. And then I've got one that's larger. This is the outside of the box, the top. So I'm going to distress this as well. And then I'm going to distress both sides of my box, which is the bottom. And the bottom piece is larger. And I'll pick up that color off of my surface there. And then we're going to do the outer edge of the top. And then just put some down on our work surface and kind of pick that up. I don't know if you can see the kind of dotted that's happening there. So I'm picking it up off the glass. More of a pumpkin texture, isn't it? It's interesting how it's doing that. So yeah, so you can see how it's going to coordinate with our ribbon flower. To begin to make the box, we're going to wrap around and glue onto that tab. So I'm going to cover these with some double stick tape here. That one. Let's see if I have enough here on my finger for this one. There we go. And then we just want to round this around and line it up on that score line, but don't score it. Alright. And that is the top of our box. And then we'll do the same thing here for the bottom. Alright, so now we have both of these, like so. And our next thing is just to push in all these tabs. You just want to go around and push them all towards the inside. Right. What we don't want to have happen is for it to score on that line. So I'm going to be very careful not to fold on that side score line where we lined up. And now we can add some glue. And the bigger round pieces are going to go on the larger piece here, and then the smaller pieces are going to go for the lid. And so what I've got going here is that, sorry, bigger pieces, did I say that? I said that wrong. The bigger circles go on the lid. That's that piece. This is the smaller pieces. So what I'm going to do is put the yellow to the inside, because the inside is yellow, and then I'm going to put my blended piece on the outside to cover all those tabs up. But to do so, we want to put the circle into the box first. So to do so, we're going to put glue on all of those little tabs. So we're just going to go in there and go around as soon as I can get my glue started. Let me find my pin here. I'll just work that open. Alright, I think we should be good to go now. So I'm just going to go in here and put a dab of glue on each circle, or on each tab, sorry. And then I'm just going over a few that I might not have got enough glue on. Alright, so now I'm just going to push down so I have all of the tabs to the inside, and I'm going to take my solid yellow piece and push it down in and make sure it's attached all the way around so it has a nice seal. And you want to do this on a flat surface. Alright, so there we go. You see it's a nice fit. And then you can see here, if it's not attaching, where it needs some help, or if it needs more glue. If it needs more glue, we just open those up and put some more in there. Alright, I think we are good. And so you just want to make sure all of that is sealed well before you move on. Alright, and then our next step is to attach the bottom. Going really close to the edge, and then along the ends of those pieces, and then a nice coverage in the middle. And then we just want to line this piece up. Go around the edges with your finger to make sure it's got a nice match. Alright, and then we're going to flip it over and push down. Now, if you have any that's sticking out just a little bit like this, you can cut that off after the glue dries. So we just want to let that set, and we're going to weight it down with something to put inside. Let's see, will this fit? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to set that off to the side and then do the same thing for the lid.